at KQEG TV, and if you look around us here at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway, well, you're seeing the similarities of what could be a snowmobile track, an ice skating rink, and well, hopefully in a couple of weeks you're going to see this. That's right, a lot of racing going on here at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway in just a matter of about 3 weeks. And we thought we would take the show outdoors to start the season off, Al.
Good idea, Dan. I'm sitting here, I'm going to lobby Chuck to see if we can run with chains that first week.
Well, but I've seen it though. There's going to be no snow on this racetrack come April 13th or April 20th as we kick the season off. I want to welcome you into the third season of Seven Rivers Racing here on KQEG TV. I'm Dan Dyker along with Al Losey. Of course, our guest, as we've done it the past 2 years to kick off the season, is Chuck Deery. Runs the show here at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Chuck's been here, I think, over 25 years now as you guys enter your 57th season of racing here at La Crosse.
I was very excited to be, again, in the position I have to be part of the fun and look forward to 2013.
Got to ask you right off the bat, what's the latest that we've come into April that you've had this out here at the Speedway, snow and ice?
I don't keep track of bad weather, but we know that, you know, when Mother Nature flips a switch, it's going to be nice, and it's, you know, we lost a lot of snow here in the last couple of days, and once a couple more warm days, and we'll be ready to go and stuff. We've had several teams already want to be out here to practice, and we've had to turn them down, obviously, but fans are anxious, the competitors are really anxious to get out and do some testing, and so when we get ready with our regular season on May 4th, and of course the Frostbuster on April 20th, the teams will be ready and we'll be ready.
Well, again, I think this is the first time in as long as I've lived in western Wisconsin, I've seen snow out here at the track, but it is going to be cleaned off. We are going to be ready to go coming up on April 20th. And believe it or not, open practice is going to be coming up here on April 13th. It's a good time for the guys to get out here that are the veterans to test into, and they already know pretty much what they're going to do. But it also gives the rookies a great chance to finally come out and see what they can do for the first time they get in their cars.
Well, yeah, it's an important date for a lot of the teams to shake down the race cars to make sure that any work they've done on it this winter
Facebook's given a lot of people an opportunity this year to find out who's going to be flipping classes. I know there's a lot of different drivers going to be going to the late models, some going to be dabbling in the sportsmen, some new Thunderstock drivers and rookies coming out this year. The Hornet class, as big as it is, you never know who's going to appear in that class.
Yeah, and that media, it's actually media day is at Test and Tune on the 13th, and it's a great opportunity for teams to bring their sponsors out here for that too. We bring them out here so they can see the car on the track, get some pictures for their own promotional purposes as well, because that helps promote the track, it promotes racing in the area. And as Chuck mentioned, most teams tear their car down completely and redo everything, and that's the day that you generally find out what you screwed up on during the winter, so that you can finish it and fix it before the next week when the competition starts.
Any big off-season changes? I know at the conclusion of last year's season, the lighting was the big issue, getting all the brand new lighting in here, and I know you're on the finishing touches. What other off-season things can the fans expect and the drivers and their teams expect as we head into the 2013 season?
Well, again, the lighting is almost done with it. We want to finish that up. Unfortunately, we saved the most expensive, or I should say the Ag Society through their 50/50 have saved the most expensive one for last, and that's on the front stretch here. So a lot of that energy is going back into, or those dollars are going back into that. And other than that, we're just going to continue to keep things the way they are, and we're very content with what the facility has and has been offering and how it looks. And you know, just going to add some little bit more unique events to the racing schedule, and you know, dang it, we're just going to have fun this summer.
I had seen a quote that Speedway President Greg McCarnes had on the Speedway's website here a couple of weeks ago. You're going to ramp things up with the fun and energy here at the racetrack this year. Not to say that it hasn't been fun or there's not energy on a Saturday night or on a Friday night with street drags, but it looked as though smashing and crashing and this huge exclamation point being put over the Speedway this year. A lot of energy.
Without a doubt, the racing is outstanding, and it's just people want to see stuff get wrecked. I want to see stuff get wrecked. I don't want to see race cars get wrecked.
No.
But I want to see stuff get wrecked, and so we decided we're going to do some events called drive-through. We're going to take a car and have one of the drivers drive through a piano or drive through an office set or a couch or something. Just something absolutely silly. It doesn't make any sense, but heck, we're going to have fun with it, and that kind of thing. More on the customer side of it, the fans come through. We have quite a few premiums this year they'll be handing out. We have some scratch-off cards that are good for prizes. We're going to do 5 race nights, a collector can edition, a can koozie, just that kind of stuff that the people have worked hard for their money. They're going to come out and be entertained, and if we can raise the level of customer service, that's what our goal is too, and in addition to the fun events out on the racetrack. So we only have 20 Saturday nights that we're going to be racing, and we're just going to make the best out of everything we have with those 20, and we hope that the fans, and we know that the fans will be able to enjoy it.
Well, we are out at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway kicking off Seven Rivers Racing here in KQEG TV. Chuck's going to hopefully stay with us with one more segment, as there's some other new things we're going to talk about here that you're going to see and hear as you enter these gates here at the La Crosse Speedway for 2013. If you want to find that schedule, it is complete. It's lacrossespeedway.com/schedule. And of course, when you enter the track here, you got the big mailbox right there. You can always come in and grab yourself a schedule as well. When we come back, we're going to talk about more new things here at the La Crosse Speedway and get you set for racing, which is going to be coming up in just a couple of weeks. This is Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG.
Oh, so lovely. It's a Cousin Sub's cheesesteak. It's an Italian cheesesteak and a double cheesesteak.
Score!
It's another Cousin Sub's cheesesteak.
It's a Philly. You got the whole set! Ha! I know.
Cousin Subs. Better bread, better subs, better day.
I'm so happy.
Did you know that the Holman American Legion is open to the public? That's right, 7 days a week you can enjoy the full-service bar while watching your favorite sports team or NASCAR driver. You don't need to be a member to enjoy the Holman American Legion's rotating lunch special every Tuesday for only $6. A banquet hall with seating up to 250 people is also available for weddings, birthdays, or any other special event. See you at the Holman American Legion, 419 First Avenue West in Holman.
We're back, folks. I'm Dan Dyke along with Al Losi and Chuck Deery here at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway, getting you ready for fantastic Saturday night racing here coming up in just a matter of weeks. Again, the open practice media day is April 13th. Schedule starts on April 20th, and as we get back talking with the track promoter and general manager, Chuck Deery. Chuck, this year you were going to race on the 20th, but then we're going to take a week off and then restart in May. And a lot of people have asked me, why are we taking that big week off? But a lot of it has to do with weather.
Well, I look at it a little bit different. We start racing on May 4th for our regular season, but we're going to add a special event on April 20th, kind of go backwards on it. The main reason is that we keep track of the weather, although we're not very good at predicting weather, but we keep track of it. In 6 of the last 7 years, we've rained out that last Saturday in April, so we just thought, well, it's not worth our time and effort and our fans and the energy and stuff, that with the questionable weather at the beginning of the year, that we're going to just do the May 4th as opener, and then try to satisfy everyone's urge to see some racing, some frostbuster, and get out cabin fever and go racing on the 20th. So.
It's also kind of nice too that during the course of the year you've done this now. I think this is the second or maybe the third year that you've had an off week for the late models during the course of the season. I know that from our perspective, that is really a good thing for us. It gives us a chance to get away from it a little bit, get refreshed. Do you find that you're getting that from a lot of the other teams?
Yeah, the late model guys certainly appreciate it, and sportsman teams as well. They have that weekend off and stuff. I wish we could do it more, but once you get past that, it's the middle of June. Once you get past that, the points battles are heating up and the momentum's going, and you really just can't take that time off. So in the Saturday night, those guys are here to race,
and you do need that minimum number of races. I believe it's 18 in order to qualify for the NASCAR points division championships.
Right. The NASCAR, we requirements from NASCAR that we have to run so many events, and they work with us on some double features and what have you. But again, we just want to appease as many people as we can, both on the competitor side and on the fan side.
And we pretty much every year have somebody on the national level in the points battle, whether it's in the late models or the sportsman division.
Right. Yeah, the level of competition here is outstanding, and it shows up nationally through the drivers and teams' efforts, and so we're very proud to always be able to have someone that represents us well up in the rankings on the national NASCAR level.
A couple of new things you're going to see. One of the biggest reasons that you see racing here on Saturday nights are the great promotions, but also the big sponsors we have here at the Crosse Speedway. Without the sponsors, we don't have racing here on Saturday nights. And Chuck, you've got two brand new ones coming on board this year. Tell us about the new title sponsor for the Sportsman and the new title sponsor for the Hornets.
Well, the Exhaust Plus in Coulee Region Glass is a local business here. Some die-hard race fans have always enjoyed the racing, always helped the race teams out, and they've just stepped up to be part of the title sponsor for the Sportsman division, and we're very excited to have them on. We thank North Country Contractors for being part of it for over the years and stuff, and their marketing cycle has changed a little bit, so now we're with the Exhaust Plus and Coulee Region Glass, and it'll be very good to have them on board. Ants Pest Control has picked up the Hornets, which is a kind of a nice,
perfect fit.
Nice fit there. And again, some race fans come out, enjoy the races, really enjoy the Hornets, that style of racing, and wanted to get branded with that division, and so we're excited to have both those guys on.
And again, I want to thank Window World was on, and we want to thank them for coming out as well this year. But Quick Trip's going to be back. Bolden Construction's going to be back.
It's Quick Trip with our premier division, the NASCAR late models. Bolden with the Outlaws, and in our figure 8 division. So title sponsor for figure 8.
Now that leads me to my next topic of conversation. I don't know if Jesse can pan down the track here. Ever since the schedule was released, figure 8 racing is going to be back here at La Crosse. I can't remember the last time I had seen it here. How schematically, for the folks that know a figure 8 track, you can run through an infield. You run the 8. Where exactly on the track, minus the snow, are we going to see figure 8 racing?
Well, it's not going to be like you think. It's going to be on the front stretch only. We're going to put some tires out there. Actually, I did do this about 24 years ago.
Okay.
I did it for a couple of years when we had demolition derbies. And those guys, I just remember watching them with the smiles on their face when they were doing it. And so we have the Hornet style cars, a little bit smaller. We've paved more of that area down there. So the neat thing is we can adjust the tires to make the track different every time. And,
right.
And so it'll be fun. The standard is it's here. It's its best. And so that was how do we do something a little bit different?
Right.
And, something we're going to smile out and let.
Another new thing, or I guess you could say new thing coming to the track this year that was just signed and sealed and delivered a couple of weeks ago. We had the Big 8s here for the July 4th holiday last year. This year, it's a relatively new division or series that's been out there. The Tundra Super Late models are going to be here.
Yeah, it's a super late model style car. It's a tour of sorts. They come in, it's more of a club. July 3rd. We decided to do something different. Again, the super late cars really like racing.
Right.
And so it was a nice fit for us, and the schedule opened up for them to come in. We're going to give it a try, and we're going to be very, I think everyone's going to enjoy it.
But as for the rest of the schedule, the Smash-O-Ramas, the Eva Destructions, the trailer races of destruction, all back again this year.
Yeah, when it's good, you don't really want to mess with it too much. We still have our standard events, our traditional events, our traditional weekend. We are going to try some different things, again, on those events and some other ones, but we'll see how it goes to fruition right now. But as it goes, April 20th with the Crossbuster and May 4th.
And before I forget in the segment, I've seen something about a 5K run possibly this year. Neither am I. cap the season off. Talking Oktoberfest already, it's kind of funny. I'm dressed like this for the first show of the season. The last time I was at this track, I was dressed just like this as well because it was cold during Oktoberfest. We're going to come back one more time, let you know more things coming up here at Crosse Speedway and some things coming up on the show this year. I want to thank Chuck Deery for joining us on LacrosseSpeedway.com, 786-1525. If you ever have any questions about the weather, the tickets, promotions, you and Dave will be the ones to contact. All right. We're going to be right back one more time as we have the inaugural 2013 Seven Rivers Racing Show right here on KQEG TV.
Did you know that the Holman American Legion is open to the public? That's right. 7 days a week, you can enjoy the full-service bar while watching your favorite sports team or NASCAR driver. You don't need to be a member to enjoy the Holman American Legion's rotating lunch special every Tuesday for only $6. A banquet hall with seating up to 250 people is also available for weddings, birthdays, or any other special event. See you at the Holman American Legion, 419 First Avenue West in Holman.
It's a Cousin Sub's cheesesteak. It's an Italian cheesesteak and a double cheesesteak.
Score.
It's another Cousin Sub's cheesesteak.
It's a Philly. You got the whole set. Ha! I know.
Cousin Subs. Better bread, better subs, better day.
I'm so happy.
We're back one more time. Dan Dyker, Al Losi here at the Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Seven Rivers Racing on Kate. No. Can't use the Lambeau because, well, you know what? Lambeau is one very historic, lovely place I like going to this year. This is another one that I like going to. And, you know, I'm going to see if Jess can pan this again here. I don't know how many folks ever get a good chance to see
here a little bit.
what the Speedway looks like during the off-season. Quite a bit of snow up in turns 3 and 4. You know, I saw a video here a couple of weeks ago. Dave Nelke was up there doing a promotional video, and then out of the blue, it was Sasquatch. So I'm not sure what happened. You know, we had the bear 2 years ago, and this year we have the Sasquatch that's coming out to the track. And I do think that we could probably get some ice skating going on out here, not with these knees, but maybe somebody else maybe like to ice skate and do the 5K later on this year.
Yeah, it certainly wouldn't be me in ice skates, that's for sure. I'm sure some of the people out there, though, have some unique talents that come out here and race, and I'm sure we could find a few people that can go out there and make fools of themselves.
I'd be right up there in the old toasty announcer's booth, I tell you what.
There you go.
So again, yeah, the schedule does start on April 13th. That's going to be Media Day and a test and tune, and it's a really good time for old friends to rekindle their friendships, old race teams to meet new. I mean, you've been out here long enough. It's like, I mean, you know, Oktoberfest is a nice time for family and friends to get together. But over the past years, I've seen that Media Day and Open Practice Day is pretty much the same thing for those that really can't stay in contact with each other during the wintertime.
Yeah, it ends up being that when you first load your race car up for Media Day on the 13th, you come out here with a list of things that you have to get done. You got to make sure your drivetrain is fine. You got to make sure the motor is ready. What you're doing is you're really coming out here as a race team to find problems. And you get out here and you're looking for problems, and all of a sudden somebody comes by that you haven't seen all winter. Well, then you got to sit and talk to them, and
well, yeah,
pretty soon 3 o'clock comes really quick, and you realize you didn't get your whole list done that needs to get done. So sometimes you do got to concentrate a little bit more on things like that. And again, it's a good day to bring out your sponsors with you, let them see the car, how it looks with the new paint job, new sponsors on there. And so many people have new sponsors this year that it should be an exciting time.
And again, all 4 divisions are going to be back this year: late model, sportsman, the Thunderstocks, and the Hornets. And of course, we're going to be bringing the Outlaws back again this year. And I know in talking with Chuck, that's one class that he'd really like to see some people bring out. It's kind of hard to describe sometimes what an actual outlaw car is. I mean, if you've been out here, you know. It's anything that's got a big motor and maybe not as big of tires as some have done in the past, but it's a class that just lets you come out here and run.
No rules. No rules. You don't have to worry about templates. You don't have to worry about what size engine you have, what kind of shocks, what kind of tires you have. You just run what you bring, and you can have a lot of fun. And Jerry Ellsworth has done a fun job with that.
Yeah, he has.
And I think a few more people want to come out and do the things that he did because he had fun.
Well, I think what else was neat, if you remember a couple of Oktoberfests ago, we had Dan Young that came out here in the super late model. Not only Johnny O had the track record at the time, I think it was 4 or 5 consecutive weekends he had broke the track record. During Fest, Dan Young came out in the Super Late model and said, I'm going to give this thing a shot down here in the quarter mile.
Yep.
Not only did he break the track record and win the heat race, Volden Construction, Rich Volden, put the challenge out, said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start you on the pole,
Right.
a lap down, and we had a good 15, 20 cars in that feature. If you can lap everybody, we're going to give you the crisp $100 bill. Well, of course, I was in the winner's circle that night, and I got to give him that $100 bill because he lapped everybody. Even though if you talk to Johnny Olson, he'll let you know if that caution wouldn't have come out later in the latter part of that race, he was going to catch him.
Yeah, that and the Outlaws is just so much fun. It's not considered a premier division like the Sportsman and
Right.
the late models, but boy, I got to tell you, we're all out here, the Sportsman and late models, we're out here watching that division because it's just fun. It's just raw power, raw racing. It really is.
Well, the other thing that people need to realize is not only is it open to big motors and whatnot, you have drivers like Brad Worth, and you have drivers like Jason Bolster. I don't think Jason Bolster missed an outlaw race last year. He's a Thunderstock driver, but he's got a backup car that he'll come out here and maybe street drag on a Friday night and do, but he's got that set up primarily to run with the Outlaws. So it doesn't really matter what class you're in.
And you make a good point too. Big motors don't win races all the time, and those cars that are running more of a street stock type setup in their outlaw class, they have their car set up. Their car might be lighter. They might be going with lighter weight cars to get around this track. Plus, he drives the short track a lot more. So as an outlaw, you can get away with different types of cars.
Right.
With the big motors, small motors, lightweight, heavy cars, anything you can run, and you can compete.
Another thing coming up this year, I think it's been 7 years now, on the second Friday of the month. It's the street drags, and they start things off. If Jess can kind of pan down, if you haven't been out here before, folks, street drags actually run right about the entrance of the turn 4 area into the front straightaway. That's where the Christmas tree sits, and they run all the way down the front straightaway here, and the start-finish line is right about where you see Wooden Plumbing, Subway, Z93, that whole area right there. They have a line for cars to finish, and they also have a line that's designated for motorcycles to finish. So it's just about 300 feet. The first one comes up in May this year, and you want to talk about some fantastic excitement. It's $5 to drag, and it doesn't really matter what you have, as we were talking Outlaws. I've seen everything from Trans Ams with parachutes in the back of them. I've seen Jaguars, and I've seen some Hondas out here that I didn't even think could get around the block, as bad as they were, but actually they would come on street drag. It's $5 to drag, $5 to come up here in the top side of the racetrack to watch, or it's $5 to just even go down to the pits and watch. It's about 3 hours of fantastic entertainment. We average between 150, 200 cars on a Friday night, and the fans, we're averaging a couple thousand on a very nice, warm summer night.
Yeah, and we're usually over at the go-kart track, and we can look through the fence, and we keep an eye on the street drags as they're going. And what's kind of funny is there's passengers in those race cars.
Oh yeah, and the big thing is what a lot of the passengers are doing now. They're holding up like the GoPros and the video cameras and the cell phones. So if you ever get a chance, hop on YouTube and just type in La Crosse Speedway drags. You're gonna be able to see what it's like to go 300 feet with some of these guys with nitrous in a matter of seconds from their videotape inside these cars.
And here's what you really do see is the people are coming here for the races. They come into the racetrack. They pay their $5, $10 if they're bringing a friend, and they basically line their street car up right here. They race the thing a few times, and then when it's time to leave, they go on down the road, probably to Features or somewhere like that. And, I mean, it is street cars.
Well, again, the race season starts. Our cameraman Jesse, we're going to put that on there, what he just got done saying behind the film there. April 13th is Media Day and the Test and Tune. We're going to start racing April 20th, and we're going to take a week off. May 4th will be the second grand opening of Speedway racing here at the La Crosse Speedway. Check them out, lacrossespeedway.com/schedule. That's where you can find that. This year you can find us on YouTube. We're going to be putting the entire show on YouTube. Just type in Seven Rivers Racing. You can see some shows from last year, and again, we're going to have them back on this year. I do want to mention the race report on my WKTY. It's going to be back on Saturdays. It's from 1 until 2 this year. So you can listen to it as you're in the race shop, heading out to the Speedway, and then check out the races here as we replay them as well at KQGTV.com. For Al Losi, I'm Dan Doctor. Jesse Freeze is back there on the camera as well. The next time you see us out here, we'll either be in the studio or Transit
Yeah.
or right back here on a nice summer night at the Crosse Speedway. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. KQEGTV.com.